Keep it locked. We'll be right back for Truth. Keep it locked. We'll be right back for Truth. Keep it locked. We'll be right back for Truth. Well, we're back at it again. It's a Wednesday night in the city, man. Hump day, hump night. Everything is right. Uh, where do we start? I'm feeling really excited about this show tonight. For more ways than you can even imagine. Uh, it's an awesome night. It's a blessing. My man. Anyways, let's jump right into the show because I think we might as well get started. We got lots of work to do. So first and foremost, I want to say shout outs to Sean Hall, man. Genuine. Sean Hall, big up, man. Big up DJ David 246 down in Florida. Uh, big up the Power Play crew, Hypermental, Hawk, uh, the entire crew, man. Big shouts out. Um, and just jump right back to Sean Hall, man. I just want to say, look, a very genuine guy, man. And you got to put things in perspective because uh, he's being so real, and not many of us can really say that there were the son of a living legend. Um, a man with a statue built for him. And the list goes on. You can check it out. Check out who we're talking about, and we can go on and go on and on. But tonight's show, right? We always start a show like this. So, well, we are back at it again, and it's a brand new week for brand new guests. And one of the things I like about doing this show is that I get to meet new people here on the show that I have never met before. I also love the anxiety and the unknown of meeting a new person, and it makes me feel like a brand new relationship. As you know, the show is here to promote and to bring to you interesting and talented people from all around the world. So if you know someone who fits this description, just point them to us and we will connect with them and give them a thumbs up. If you are new to the show, I hope you enjoy us and our guests as well. If you want to be part of the show, just drop us a comment and join the conversation and we will respond to you and your comments. That's how we do it. And by the way, our email address is dmanfromprospect@gmail.com. And you can always reach out to us at facebook.com/Dman for Truth. And you can catch all the reruns on YouTube. Simply go to Dman from Prospect and they will be available to you. Now, before we get into Dman's thoughts, I want to remind you that for the entire month of May, and we don't have much more to go, but we are celebrating Mental Awareness Month, and this is the perfect time for you to get into your deep feelings and come to grip with whatever has been stressing you. So little things like sleeping well and becoming less stressed is very important. And for me, for this entire month, I have started exercising more. And it's increasing my ability to sleep even better. So that is one way you can help. If you think you are having mental problems, see an expert or check out our page and see if one of our qualified professionals can assist you. And so you never know, right? Just check it out. There may be someone there that can help you. There's lots of people that we connect with. Um, and the other thing is just a reminder, folks, COVID-19 is no joke. All right. Uh, and listen carefully. And I mean, there's more than one dog named Bob. So today I got this call from the hospital from my buddy, not buddy, but someone that I do business with. His name is Dave, and he was out of breath and uh, sounding really winded. And I was like, "Yo, where you at? You running up a steps or something?" He was like, "No, man, I'm in the hospital." And I was like, "What? Word?" And he was like, "Yo," I said, "What you doing there?" He was like, "COVID. COVID got me." And then right away, I sunk a little bit. And I was like, oh, shoot. The last time I heard that, it didn't go too well. And he said, "Yeah, I've been in the hospital for 3 weeks and I'm still here." And I felt a little bit sad, but he went on and said he's feeling a little bit better. He said he couldn't walk, um, and just doing 20 to 30 steps now uh, is a step, no pun intended, forward, and he's excited. So big up Dave. And one of the things I spoke to him for quite a few minutes, and one of the things that he did say to me was that one of the ways the hospital was trying to have him recover was by inducing a coma so that he can relax and sleep and let this disease kind of go away. And I guess relaxing would help, but he declined it. So I wish him all the best, and I hope that he can find his way out of the hospital. The bottom line is this disease is very serious. So please take care of yourselves first and foremost. Um, you can't protect other people, but definitely you can protect yourselves. I mean, you can protect other people too, but you protect yourselves first. And I just want to say, guys, just take care of yourself first because it's no joke. Some people think it's a joke, but it's not a joke. It's not a hoax either. All right. So, Dave, I hope you get better soon. Now, Dman thoughts for Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. So let me get right into this segment because I know this time is precious. And we all can agree by now, we are all well over 1 year into a pandemic. And also, 9 minutes and 20 seconds is definitely a killer, right? But let's switch gears for a moment. I often wonder about my curiosity and how easy it was for me to get caught looking. And I know for some of you out there, you're probably shaking your head or perhaps even smiling right now. What's the man talking about? What's he looking at? And for you guys out there, there's nothing wrong with looking for a new home. And there's definitely nothing wrong with looking for a new hobby. For example, when guys are looking for these new things and they finally find something, usually they're very excited and bubbly, and they often go back to the circle of friends and discuss these new items. Now, when females see a new home they like or a new hobby that they want to explore, they usually keep it quiet and simply put it on a list. And this list has to be checked off. Now, I'm not going to encourage any one of you to look for a new hobby because hobbies tend to come very expensive and they often take a while to really master. If there is anything else I can tell you about curiosity or looking, that would be to keep your eyes open, and that prevents you from tripping. You know what I'm saying? And that's the man thoughts. And I just want to say right now, I'm very excited to introduce our next guest to the stage of FuhTrute. And he goes, well, first of all, he's one of the most hilarious, most creative guys that I've met in a while. He's also very down to earth and very humble, as it seems. Welcome to FuhTrute, Blackrock Dave.
Yes, yes, yes. Greetings, greetings.
Yes, man. How are you?
I bless you. I give thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Listen, man. It's more pleasure of mine than yours. And how often do you hear that?
Well, if I start again, pleasure more often than mine. I start to count. If I carry the two, right, and then I got cross, you got cross out the nine. A lot. Well, in fact, then I got take away because I got bracket because then you got was it power by numbers multiply. Then I ain't sure, man. I ain't sure. I can go. I ain't sure. I can go with I
You
ain't.
bet.
Math wasn't my thing. Math wasn't my thing. I
It
used to
wasn't
want,
your thing.
you know what it was in school. You get that break moniker. Growing up in the Caribbean in Barbados, the break moniker. You want to be the break moniker, but that work was hard, man. I think after a while, this, yeah, wasn't my
I
thing.
get you, brother. I get you, man. So first and foremost, who is Blackrock Dave? And tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just
Who
a
is
little bit for now.
who is Black Rock Dave? Black Rock Dave from Black Rock, right? Black Rock Dave is David Beckles Jr. I grew up in Blackrock. I was raised by my aunt and uncle in Blackrock. I was born in New York City, but I was raised in Barbados. I went.
Now you don't have to feel a way about that, man. Just pick up yourself.
No. I'm just. It's the truth. Is what it is. You know. Here's the funny thing. Where I live, people know that I was an American, right? Because every because I would come up, I would go to New York and spend the summer with my parents and come back for school every year, back and forth. So after a while, sometimes February, March, people be like, you're not what, you're a Beijing, you're not American, you know that, Right?
I get it, man. I get it.
Well, that's in essence who.
Definitely, man.
For sure.
So since we know that you are from Blackrock, and I just wanted, because I'm from Prospect, which happens to be right next to Blackrock.
Yeah.
And I got loads of family in Blackrock. So where exactly in Blackrock are you from? Let me do some archiving.
Ferniehearst.
Ferniehearst. Big up Ferniehearst, my brother Big O, and most of the crew down there.
That's the most notable place, but even further than that would be Jones Land.
Definitely, I am aware of all these areas.
Yeah,
lots of families scattered all over them areas, man.
Because I was there before there was a Ferniehearst. Ferniehearst was a big pasture, big places to run about. I might step in some cow dung every once in a while. But yeah.
So there you go, guys. Blackrock Dave is actually from Blackrock. He didn't just make it up, He's a Blackrock man, like people say. The funny thing about being a Blackrock man is that when you're from Blackrock, people say, "Yo, he's a Blackrock man," And,
yeah.
And that's how it go.
Because also to the mentally Blackrock mental. So it's like, oh my God, it's a good thing he's from Blackrock, because he mine, yeah.
Yeah, that also happens.
And I tell you a story about that mental. We how old we was now? Maybe 14 or so. We was going to Early School Fair one time, and we dressed up. We came to Early School Fair. We talking, how much fun we want to have. And I had a guy behind the bars, right? And the man said, "Hey man, shut him out. So you see me talking?" The man from the bars, cool and calm ball, said, "I am your intellectual superior, you idiot." But we laugh to the fear, we laugh back, and we still laughing years later. I am your intellectual superior. A man from the bar tell you so. I was like, wow.
In a good Bajan form, nobody ever lets that go. That stays with you forever.
Listen, my friends, over 30 years, whenever we get together, it is always started with, you remember that time? And that's all it is. Remember that time when, boom. That time could mean lakes. Time could mean something embarrassing. That time could be, you may stop down, that all kind of thing. That time you can't come out. That time, remember you couldn't go this way that time.
That's how the thing go, man.
Come on.
So let's get into Blackrock Dave now, and let's skip Dave Beckles for a minute. So tell me, tell our viewers, how long have you been doing what you do, man? Because is this new?
Nah, this ain't new. This was always something. I grew up in church. I used to say, to get recitations for Easter, for Christmas. I remember one time there was a guy at the church. He's like, "Man, I want to write a part in the play for you," right? And he said, "I can make you a star." I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? All right, yeah. I think I played on the shepherd man or something. And I remember going in as a shepherd man with lines, and people start laughing at everything I say. And I was like, I don't understand it. People start laughing at everything. So that was then. And I did a big part one time in a school play. We had one time. But when I came here, I migrated here, I developed this love for comedy and that kind of thing. It took an adjustment period kind of from Barbados to New York. You know what I mean? But I was exposed to so much different things. I used to work in a mail room, right? And I had all these thoughts about comedy and writing TV shows and that kind of thing that never really and truly never went away. You know what I mean? I start at the community college. People don't know this, man. I got characters and voices and all kind of stuff I used to do then, but still quite didn't have the courage to go and do an open mic.
Right.
Right?
Okay. Well, that sounds good now.
Yeah. But then,
I was just wondering if the mailroom sent you postal for a minute.
the mail room introduced me to a lot of characters you find in New York, believe it or not. We had a fella named David Cox, believe it or not, and he's a Beijing fella, but he Beijing was either you gonna understand what he's saying or not. And he telling people, "Hey, I tell pump the man and go put that in there and pump the people and stop freaking around." And so he would talk to people and know everybody would look at like, what is he saying? And then if I did that, it would translate. I would translate that. It was and he was one of the characters of that mail room.
I find that interesting because, just like my brother, when we first came here, we jumped right into high school, and my brother would do the same thing. Meanwhile, I wanted everybody to understand everything that I was saying, because if I'm telling you something, I want you to understand what I'm saying, because I don't want you to slip up. Because if I say, look, yo, it's not gonna go that way, I want you to really understand it.
Yeah. And then of course you had the thing in where, for the time you hear accent in the 90s, it was Jamaican.
That's right.
Every time you hear accent, it was Jamaican. But from I know I missed a bunch of stuff, because like when my father came to this country at 14 years old, right? And this was a time when you come from the Caribbean or the Caribbean. He was a second-class citizen.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you was a second-class citizen. Maybe pick on him, not him. He grew up in basketball, so nobody ain't picking on he. He don't care where he come from. He man got a plethora of stories. I hope people get licked up. People get licked up for trying to mess with the island boy. But when I came, it was a total 180. You know what I mean? People know looking for Caribbean roots. I hear a dude do one thing, tell me, man, my best friend is West Indian. I practically grew up in the house, man. So I West Indian too. You know what I mean? That's never stuff that my father would have heard.
Right, that's right. I guess a lot of people would have shied away from being West Indian.
Yeah,
just try to change the accent and everything.
To fit in, to assimilate.
But that's a good thing about times. As times move on, people find ways to kind of do things their own way. And
And that's a universal something, because I remember going to school, secondary school. I used to go to CP mine. Sometimes I would catch school bakes, right? And if I open my mouth too much and tell people I got bakes, I wouldn't get none. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Now my uncle now say, no, if he carried bakes to school as a little boy, man, they make fun of him, laugh and call he poor.
Yeah, man. You had to hide them things.
I say, yeah, but if I do that today, and he was like, I glad that's one of the things that changed. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that changed.
Man, it's interesting, and we can all learn from that too, because there's a lot of things going around socially and everything else that kind of highlights exactly what you're saying.
There's a lot of these going around these days, buddy.
Yeah. So Blackrock Dave.
Yeah.
First and foremost, are you a comedian first? Are you an actor, or have you studied the arts of comedy, and and is this your way of creating acting roles, part of your craft?
Okay, no, let me start from this. I wanted to do it in school, right? But it was tough to go to Caribbean parents to say, hey man, all that maybe being a lawyer or maybe trying to study the accountant, that kind of stuff. I really don't do that anymore. I want to go to school to act, right? And I did film and media arts is what I did, right? Because I was kind of like, I don't want to get into the acting. So I kind of went around the other side. It was like, hey man, I could be a camera guy or work in a production or whatever the case was. But my love was the acting, right? And I kind of, all right, get away from that. But this thing, whatever this was, it would even wake me up out of my sleep. If I was
Wow.
sleeping, yeah, I would tell you, I thought you want to be an actor. I thought you want to do comedy, right? So I consider myself both an actor and a comedian. Me, because I have experience doing both. You know what I mean? I did plays. I did from Othello to gospel plays. I've done these things in what we would consider community theater, right?
Wow.
It was
Wow.
also
That's
to hit,
huge.
hit some open mics. Even when I travel this country for work, like I went to Detroit and Chicago, went to Dallas, I was able to hit a mic in these places, places like
Wow.
Green Bay, and tell people
Wow.
jokes that I create. I mean, albeit, this is some stuff that never see me there know who I am, but be able to make people laugh. You know what I
No,
mean?
that,
So I
that's
was
that's
just doing
huge.
stuff.
And I can tell from first time I saw you, I can tell that you're a guy, not only a funny guy, but you're a guy who um who either studied the arts
Yeah,
or been crafting this kind of talent for a while. I can just tell by all the movements, and it's like a proud moment in a sense, not only
yeah,
because the Beijing connection, but
yeah,
it's just seeing a guy who seems to be very humble and rooted, and that
yeah.
that's big.
You gotta be, because if one thing this pandemic has taught us or should taught us is how fragile life is. You know what I mean? You here today, I'm gone tomorrow. I mean, and that was regular. But now you introduce a pandemic element where people lose family members. Look at, and it don't matter how much money and your status. That guy from the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. He's originally from Jersey, the center. What's his name?
Well, I don't know.
Um,
I lost track of football for like 3 years
no,
now.
no,
Same
it's
football.
basketball. It's
Oh,
called the big.
basketball.
He's called it the big cat. Called it the big cat.
Oh, yes. Big tall guy, Tom's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What's his
yeah.
name?
Tongues.
Anthony. Is it Anthony?
No, Anthony Tongues. Is it
Anthony
Anthony
Tom's, right?
Tongues? I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He lost his mother. He lost an aunt. He lost an
Uh,
uncle.
yeah, I remember
Due
that.
to this COVID. You know what I'm saying? So it should definitely make you appreciate life, appreciate moment by moment, appreciate your family. You know, I mean, my brother
Yeah,
got
that's
hit with it too. My brother and sister-in-law, but thank God they didn't have a lot of symptoms. They had mild, very very mild.
right.
And then
That's
they were
right.
able in 2 weeks to just go back out.
And there's a lot of people that I know also or heard that the same thing too. Very mild symptoms,
Mm,
and and then like there's others now that unfortunately is a little bit more grave
yeah,
than others. I actually
yeah,
know one guy who actually passed from
yeah,
it. Uh, um,
yeah.
Rest in
I used to
peace.
work with a guy. I mean, he was sick. He was sick in that he was on disability. Because he couldn't work and stuff. And he had moved out of New York. And I was on Facebook and I saw his son. I was like, what? Posting RIP dad, because he died from COVID.
Wow,
So it's but with
it's no
that,
joke.
yeah, no, no joke. With that, um, in school, we did film editing. We edited on Steinbeck machine. I don't know if you know what a Steinbeck machine was.
No,
It was a Steinbeck machine. How the filmmakers used to edit film back in the day, right?
educate me, my brother.
So you got this. You could Google it whenever you're done. But you got this Steinbeck
Yes.
machine, and you got film, like actual film that you got to sync up with the audio. You put it on these reels, you sync it up, and it would have this special splicer. They used to splice the video, splice the audio, and you replace it and do that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the basic stuff. I would say it was a little bit more at the premium level, but we did that in order to, complete our projects in school. Now, fast forward some years, I could do this. I record everything and post it up on a social platform with none of that digitally, right?
Right.
So all the years of me going, man, I really like to, and even friends was like, you should really, boy, you need to go in. What you doing? What you doing? What you waiting for?
That's right.
And it took honestly back in 2016. I was at work. I was on what Sprinter van is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on a Sprinter van and I was doing this ice cream promotion. We had to go in the city and load up a bike. I didn't really want to go, but anyway, because I was supposed to be off that day. So load the bike and the thing, and I go to step off the back of the truck. The manager at the time was zip tying. I'm like, I mean, she would put a bungee cord in to keep the bike stable. I'm like, why are you putting a bungee cord? You know what? I don't care. I just want to get home. So I step over the bungee cord, and then I, with one leg, my right leg, step over the other, bring over the other leg, and just like that, I slip. Boom, hit the ground. 2 torn quads.
Wow.
Just like that. 2 torn quads.
Wow, man.
Yeah, it coming up on 5 years. I think June 2nd or 3rd.
That doesn't sound easy at all.
No, I never made it home that evening. I went to the hospital and had to do surgery to put back the quad tendon. Yeah.
Man.
So with that, there's another side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I was home now. I'm home now, recovering. I'm going, what can I do? I mean, I had a choice. Be frustrated with the position, the current position I'm in, or hey, start to do something. Because I had a friend who always used to tell me, you got to put yourself up there. I said, how you put yourself up there? I don't know people with a camera to make videos. I don't know nothing about that. To be honest with you, I don't know nothing about that. But guess what? In that time, I figured it out. And that's when I start making videos in August of 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a long time, but it is a long time.
Yeah.
And I've noticed how you have improved in the videos and everything else, man. I just went through a whole bunch of your videos the other day, and it's pretty cool, man.
I see. The thing is, I was telling a virgin this evening. Well, I said when I started with my phone, and I didn't even know how to edit. If I was doing 2 characters, I would record one part and try not to look at the camera, hit stop, then change my clothes real quick, walk out next clothes and say 2 words, pause quick, come back and change the clothes back and forth. That's how I would do it. I mean, in my head, I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be done, but I just didn't know how to do it until I figured it out one day by accident. And I was like, oh, okay, I could do this, and then I could chop it up like it's supposed to be. And I also do invest in myself. So I get a camera, I get a computer, I get lights, I get cameras. So
I want to get into even further, like life after these videos and everything else. But before we get to that point, I just want to ask you, man, like you have a way of making people feel like they know you for a long time. Is this on purpose, or is this just your humble approach to life, man?
It gotta be God's gift, man. It gotta be God's gift. It has to be, because I mean, I observe, and one of the things in comedy you do is observe, right? You watch and you observe, and you see certain people that create videos. You see, they get certain attention and certain exposure, and it gets to the head if you're not careful. For me, I want to always be level-headed, regardless of how far I get. You know what I mean? I'm here today with you. Tomorrow, sitting down drinking a fruity with Rihanna. I can be the same body. I can be the same body talking the same. Especially if it's me and she here, and everybody else can't understand. I can still look at she like, I can do that. That's just how it is.
And yo, Dave, I'm sure Rihanna right now is watching and say, "Yeah, that's true."
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But looking at things like, for example, have you seen Luke Cage?
No, actually.
You haven't seen?
Tell me about it.
Luke Cage, the black superhero. In my opinion, I think that was a precursor to Black Panther, because you've seen this man that was bulletproof. Of all the things, a black man in America bulletproof, especially with the social unrest that's happening now with police and black men, police and black people in general. And you had a superhero that your one thing can affect this man, right? Season 1, season 2, they introduced Bushmaster, and it was supposed to be a Jamaican character, right? But for us, the accent is not authentic, right? I can see if you even do a good job to get, but no. And then the setting, one of the settings was in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. If you listen, it's hard for you not to see a West Indian in Crown Heights.
That's correct.
If you go up in there and you sneeze, somebody can cuss you.
That's
in
right,
several
man.
different places because it's West Indians. Then like, hold on, why aren't they in at this level? Because you are here. We are here, present. Doormen, Ubermen. We got restaurants. And we are lawyers, doctors, teachers, professors, everything. Contractors. We are here. But when it comes to showing you where you are on screen, okay, well, not really. We're not really creating those kind of stories. But no, is the time to do it, I believe. No,
I agree too.
Yeah. And for me, especially with the pandemic, because I mean I may be doing videos now, but I was this way a long time ago. When I first started doing videos, my brother mentions me finally. You know, so the people that know me, know that I was always this way. I was always doing accents, especially I love accents, and not just to one part of the world, all over the world, because I meet all these people.
And I just want to say to you, man, like, continue doing what you're doing, and like this is really awesome. You know, I want to say this, like, do you find that you mentioned about the actors not sounding authentic?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a disconnect even amongst the African American community and the West Indian community, like when it comes to those type of situations, or is it something even deeper?
Well, I mean, given the fact that we all taught to hate each other, you know, that's always there, right? But given that, I think we've made strides to know that there's no difference between a Black American and a Black Caribbean person. There's no difference. That's a funny accent. There's none.
That's right.
And when I say American, I mean North American, you know, Canada included.
Yep.
Because when you look at stuff, you know, we're in there as part, a small number, but we're in there. We're not new to this, right? So it is about relationships. What's the relationship? Who is there to open the door for? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who's controlling what? Who sits in the studio? Who sits in the heads of auditions? You understand? Because
That's
in this Northeast, and again I include Toronto, it is normal for you to hear a Trini, a Guyanese, a Bajan, a Jamaican, a Haitian, like in here. But outside of that, you know, I've traveled to Ohio. They don't know what the hell. The first thing they come in their mouth, you Jamaican? Oh, no, you Haitian? Oh, you African? They don't know the difference. So sometimes,
you're right.
it's a familiarity. So sometimes you have to teach. It's your job to teach, and it's not on one person. It's a collective group of people. You know, one of the things that I think that we don't do, especially as a Caribbean community, is stick together. Is really understand that if you stick together, you could accomplish more than you by yourself. We just
preach it, my brother. Preach it.
We just say that, and it sounds like like unity, but in the actual practicality on the day-to-day of let's move unified is where we are lacking. Big time.
I can't agree with you even more. Look, I had the same conversation just a couple of days ago, and you are absolutely 100% correct. You know, that's the only way you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
know, I started doing this because from the 90s, I had concepts of TV shows, concepts of different things that would never leave my mind, right? And when I started doing like these videos, I said, you know what? I could do this, you know. I can really do this. I have the wherewithal to do it. I just got to learn how to do it on the technical end, and that's what I did. Like, at the beginning of the pandemic, where there was nothing else to do but stay in your house.
No.
All right, I turned to say, I'm not going to get overly concerned about views, likes, shares, comments. I'm gonna just bury my head and just be creative. I come up with whatever I come up with.
And do what you do.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. You know, that's it.
No, Dave. Now you mentioned that we talk about unity, right?
Yeah,
Unifying as one to make it stronger,
yeah.
and it's something that I touched on as I started the show, and that's one thing that I realized in the Caribbean that we don't always do. I mean, we do it in some ways, but like if we have one talented person, we don't always push them out on a plateau really high and look at them as like a big top, big time celebrity and give them all the prop. We sometimes kind of like knock it off as, oh, that's just Dave, or that's just so and so. And and I'm just wondering, is that one of the reasons that that you tend to kind of push a little harder too?
I push a little harder because this is what I want to do. You know, what I mean, this is it. You know, if I win a lotto, you see me win a lotto tomorrow, right? I can get my productions. I can get my scripts written. I can get my scripts done, and we can do some. We can do some. Okay, we can do this, but this. We can do this, but this. And we can try to shoot this at this, and that's what's going to happen because I want to do this for real. You know what I mean? And I also think too that, and this is the part here. For me, everything is funny, right? I like what I like in terms of comedy, right? I don't necessarily the what everybody's like, what goes viral. Oh, okay, so I see it. All right, is it funny? Could be. Is it funny to me? Not really. Right, and it's not a knock. It's just a preference because people can see my stuff and say the same thing too. You know what I mean? It's like,
That's
oh, I
right.
don't understand what he's saying. So the whole thing is about being true to who you are. And I've seen quotes lately, like, before anybody could believe in you, gotta believe in yourself. You gotta talk to
Right.
yourself. Because
Bet on
before you
yourself.
start, it's like, is this too late? Is it too late to do this stuff? Oh man, maybe I should have been doing this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You should have continued doing the open mic, the stand up, instead of stopping and starting. You should have been, in it more consistent. Because I like comedians. Well, speaking of comedians, you saw that Paul Mooney died this morning. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney, one of the comedy
Oh,
greats, legends.
I
Um,
that one missed me, man.
Paul Mooney.
That's a legend.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one missed me. I didn't see
yeah,
that at all, man.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
wow,
But
wow.
I like of course the Dave Chappelle's. I like Bill Burr, and I like Godfrey. Godfrey, the comedian. He's very very
Wow.
talented, very diverse. Man,
Wow.
that brother,
I mean,
that brother.
Dave Chappelle is the obvious.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we have even put him right on the top, kind of like right now, because
yeah.
this is what we see right now, and the younger ones not even going to go into like the older ones. They're not going to go into the archives. Just going to say Dave Chappelle, Dave Chappelle. But I mean, but I do love Dave Chappelle, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, I do as well. See,
You know,
and the thing about it is too, we tend to always compare, right? Oh, but this person is better than this, and I've seen memes where you got 9 comedians. It's like one of them got to go. Which one and what? I'm like, but why one has
yeah,
to go?
I've
Why?
seen that too. I've
The
seen that
question is
too.
asked: why one has to go? Why can't they all be? Because I don't see um um who's it? He has a joke and he go hot pockets. What's that guy? Uh,
I don't know that
I'm seeing
one.
his face and I can't remember. But you don't see Jerry Seinfeld and
Seinfeld.
somebody else beefing, at least
No,
not in public.
but that's the thing amongst us.
You know what I
We
mean?
we tend to do that a lot, and I feel as if eventually the younger kids, they're gonna like it's gonna be cut out. It's gonna wear out because I
Well,
see things changing.
I mean, yeah.
Look around. You
Yeah,
know,
I do
I
see
feel
some.
eventually it's going to happen.
Yeah, because you at the why you going after this person for doing this style of comedy or this. I'm like, let this person do this person. You do you, and that's it. That's it.
No,
There's room. The reality of it,
I
there's room for
definitely
everybody.
definitely agree with you.
We have the ability right now to make a video and it can literally be seen around the world.
That's right, my friend.
Right? I have friends in Canada because of my videos that I've never seen in person, but we talk. We talk and communicate. Barbados, same way, different parts of the country. I've never seen in person, but we message each other on everything because of the videos, right?
And that's the power. And that's the power of social media. That's the power
Yeah,
of the technology right now. And
yeah,
you know, everyone, even if you didn't believe in it, now you're starting to come around because you're realizing that like you could be lame and you could sit in your couch and just do what you want to do, you
yeah,
know, and make yourself into something, you
yeah.
know.
You can.
You know, and it's awesome to see that you're doing this. Now, you mentioned stand-up comedy.
Mhm.
Now, so you're starting to do it, or have you started doing stand-up comedy
My
already?
first, my first, my first mic was 2004, right?
Was it an open mic or was it
It was an open mic.
I got a story about open mic, and I'll tell you once you complete what you say.
Yeah, no, my first open mic was 2004. After, should I do this? Should I do this? I need to do this. Like, man, look, I gotta do this here because this is crazy. And I start and stop. I start and stop. I did more off than I did on. Right? Like, even though even up here, I used to go to a room a mic every Monday, but the pandemic shut everything down. I mean, slowly you're seeing things happening and people, opening up. But I'm still cautious because at the end of the day, it's human beings. So a person can be like, "Hey, man, I'm vaccinated," and next thing you know, they make they're not. I mean, people out here walking about the COVID, the asymptomatic. The asymptomatic, and just that COVID, yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yo, there's people who probably was tested and was tested positive, and
Yeah,
it's like, yo, I gotta get to the beer store and get my beer no matter
yeah,
what.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Like,
they're not saying nothing.
it's gonna be it's just like the flu. You'll be fine.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing, right?
yeah.
So so I want to retrack a little bit and tell you
Okay.
my little story about open mic and my little
Yeah,
story about
yeah.
stand up. And
Mm,
I remember it was back in 2015, no, 2016. And
mm,
I got laid off from my job that I was at. And I always talk, as they call it, smack, crap, whatever, all the
mm,
time.
mm,
And I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to an open mic, and I'm going to do my thing for a minute or two and see what happens.
mhm,
So I remember clearly, I was a Wednesday night, and Yuck Yucks was giving chances
yeah,
to people who just walk right off the street.
yeah.
And I was like getting ready, I had my material all written down and everything.
Mhm.
And then I came home, I checked my emails, and I saw there was a job opening for me somewhere else. I was like, yo, I'm not going out there. I just froze up, man. I was like, I'm not doing
I
that.
mean, it takes a special kind of person, a kind of ballsy person to get up
Yep.
on them stages, man. Because listen, I remember I did, I see that these videos ain't even my first crack at doing videos. I used to do a character called Businessman. I had like an afro then and all kind of stuff. And somebody seen it that I went to school with and was like, "Oh, you doing comedy now? Man, come to this spot. I could get you on this mic." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Okay." Caribbean audience. Oh man, I got these jokes that was rolling rusty and time was off, but I'm going anyway because I'm gonna do this. Mala, the fella that hosting was a comic named Cynic, who was a Bayesian comic too. I think he came from America, like very, very young, or his parents were Bayesian or something like that. Anyway, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you a nice intro." Da, 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 bam. Man, I get up on the stage. And before I start, I remember I was at the place, and this Trinidadian fella was was outside, right? And he was like, yo, pop, this comedy in here. The man like the man said, boy, I ain't want no comedy, boy. I just want to go inside and get something, eat and relax myself. I ain't want no comedy stupidness there, you understand? Right? That's what you hear from outside, right? I got up on stage. Who you think is the first body I lock eyes with? Right up front. Say no solo. Say no solo. The first joke I let go, it was deafening silence. And my mom looking at me so I tell you, I want to come in no joke. This man is the worst, boy. This man, there's not your thing, horse. Come off the stage now, boy. All right. I like going for one after it, remember, and then there's silence. It is silence. When it was done, and then but the fella that tell me to that hook me up, he might even look at me. We get the same church, and he might even look at me. And the horse is like, yeah, boy, this is how it is. This is part of it. And I was like, if I could have crawled out of my skin that night and left it there and disappeared, you would have never heard about Blackrock Dave. That's what we're doing. Like, man, I could just crawl out of here and just, I'm out.
Oh man, I can only imagine that is it's an awesome experience and also an awful experience at the same time.
Yeah, it is. But that comes with it. Even big time entertainers, boom. That is par for the course. That just like when you used to run boat barefoot, you gonna stop me a toe? Yeah, you can stop me a toe. Bombing is like stopping me a toe. It hurts.
Or get a nail jug. Nail jug.
It hurts. you go up on the beach when they got CAs and you get several in your heel. It hurts.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. I mean, but definitely, it was something that I really contemplated doing many years ago, and I'm happy not to do it. But I also would do it in like a social arena with just friends and family and so forth.
When I was in Canada in 2019, and I went to a room. I can't remember where, but I went to a room. One of my friends in Toronto, he met me there, and we went to this open mic. And I was, just doing my stuff. And he was like, listen, man. He's like, you just got to keep going, brother. You got to keep going. I got to keep going. So that's the whole part. It's one of the things I wanted to do was do Shakespeare, right? To accomplish doing a Shakespeare. And I get thrown into the deep end. My very first experience to Shakespeare was Othello. As Othello. You understand?
And you had the accent and everything.
No, it wasn't really. We didn't try to do. No, we didn't do British accent because this was like, hey, listen. Not only, thus thou thine, there thine. People can do Shakespeare. You've got people that look like you and I could sit here and be effective doing Shakespeare as well. You know what I mean? That was the goal for the theater company as well. We're gonna do a whole bunch of Black and Spanish people performing Shakespeare, and they have people from the community coming in going. And you sometimes you'll be sitting in a whole bunch of other people like, oh snap, you heard what he said? And you talking this time now, it's like, oh snap, which is good to get them involved and get the mind occupied and think of something else.
I was gonna say to you, like doing accents, is that like more practice or is it more of like a talent?
It's a gift. First of all, it's a gift, but I practice. I practice every single day. Even if it's by myself.
Yeah.
Even if it's by myself, I practice every day. Something.
I mean, if you're gonna keep practicing that like accents and stuff, you got to take that on the road. You definitely got to do stand up, and you definitely got to bring it, man. Be funny with it, man.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of people that are waiting. Maybe you know what, Dave? Maybe one day I'll be able to maybe we can collaborate and have you come across the border again. You know what I mean? Because right now we're shutting you guys off.
I realize that. But you
guys definitely got too much stuff going on across there.
But the Canadians can come to America though, no problem. They're like, hey, you're from up north, you good. And it's like, yo, we coming. Right? But he coming back, he's like, no. I remember the last time I drove to Canada, and my daughter had a bunch of shoes she had outgrown. So my wife's cousin got 2 young daughters, so we always take stuff for them. So the Canadian custom, the border agent was like, that is a lot of shoes. I was like, yeah, it's for my family and whatnot. He said, no, that's wow, that is a lot of shoes. I said, yeah. Then he was like, okay, enjoy Canada, but that's a lot of shoes you're going to sell. No, I ain't gonna sell anything. Give them to family. Okay, enjoy Canada. I know he's probably from Montreal or something.
Dave, you mentioned that, right? You mentioned about the accent, like coming to Canada and so forth. Now, I don't know what it is like for you Americans, but do you find like you hear a lot of different accents when you reach Canada? Because I find that
definitely,
especially within Toronto, there's so much different accents.
I mean, it's here as well, but I'm saying the Canadian accent is a different accent. You guys up there talking about walk and talk, walk. I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna walk this way. I'm gonna walk A. And then when you start again, like these street slang, like your man's beer thing over here, eh? I'm not doing it because it's a mixture. It's a mixture.
So you know about them things. You know about them things.
Of course, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of the West Indian and the English from England, and then their own special something in the mix.
That's right.
Because they don't always talk like that. That's fairly new.
No.
If you
know what.
If you're 40, you're not really talking like that. If you're 30,
but you know what? It's interesting you say that because the guys on the street. Like if you go within different segments of Toronto, like you will hear so much. The accents are completely different. Guys in the north, they got a different accent. You hear a man talk, yo, this that man I do this and man I do that and that and that and that. And then you go downtown, you hear guys be like, yo, what's going on, brother? And you hear all different kind of things, right? But definitely within Toronto is definitely off the hook, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. You see.
Now, Dave, have you reached celebrity status yet?
No.
Not yet, eh?
No.
Well, how do you know when you reach celebrity status?
And celebrity. That every night I think about, to be honest with you. I know.
So if you walk on the street and there's people saying, yo, Blackrock Dave.
I've had that. I've had that, going back to Barbados, and back then I wasn't. I mean, I because I used to go by my name before. I used to go by David Beckles Jr. Right, and one day I just decided, you know what, man, Blackrock Dave. I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can change the name. But I was in Barbados, and I went to pay one of these insurance bills, a tax bill or something that day, and I saw a guy look at me, right. And he looked at me, and I was like, then he passed. Then he came back down. He said, I like that one, but a video I had done. I started, boss, respect. I was on my way to the beach, right? And a woman rolling, she went like, "Damn, I like you videos," right? So as a blessing, he said, I've gotten that even here, and I tell this story too, because sometimes everybody's on social media is like, oh my God, I got everything together. I'm just, I don't care. I'm just whatever. I'm just a beast and with no feelings. That's a lie. Because one time I was getting up, going to work early in the morning. I was like, what is video thing really doing for you, though, boss? Well, we're really happening. And I was like, charge, right? And my uncle, who lives like 10 minutes away, was driving down to the city, and he was talking to me. I was like, with my thoughts in my head, you know what I mean? I was like, charge, go get hard. I get off. He dropped me off at 60th Street, and I was going to take the train. This lady come on the subway. As soon as I about to pay for Metro card, she was like, I can swipe you in. I mean, don't know me from Adam. I was like, wait, what? She said, I can swipe you in. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. She's like, you're sure? I was like, yeah. And I started to brighten the day up. When I reached the destination, because we were giving out different things on the street, this lady come down an accessory ride. An accessory ride is a bus that is drive like either like elderly or handicapped people, to different appointments and stuff. So normally, when you working in the street in New York, people see that stuff. They want, yo, give me a box. I all ready to tell this woman we can't give a box. the woman rolled on the window board. David Backus Jr., I didn't see you videos on Facebook in front of the whole staff. Everybody was like, oh! I can't be a noise along kind of thing, right? So that I've had that happen a couple of times, man. But you know, it's
Hey,
still
man, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm 40 enough years old, and I can tell you that I can appreciate your work, man. I mean, I laugh. I mean, my whole entire family, we like every day we would come up with one of your lines. You know what I mean? Like say for instance, my wife, she like I'm gonna put her in the spotlight now, but if she spills something, we'd be like, no, I gotta start from scratch.
Cuthbert Jones. Yeah, he's a lot of fun to do. He's a lot of fun to do.
Yo, right? I love Cuthbert Jones, man.
And especially when I'm able to mix him with other people, because here's the deal, right? You've got, you know, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, got a heavy Caribbean community, right? But you know, everybody's working Manhattan. Not everybody, but a lot of people's working Manhattan. So you're gonna always got that cross-cultural, you know, interaction. So me, as a Caribbean guy, would go in the morning and see, I don't know, Boris from Russia, right? And he can tell me, I was, how you doing, bro? Hey, how you doing, Dave? You watch maybe basketball game last night? Knicks fan, you like basketball, Dave? You can play a little bit? No, I don't like basketball that much. Maybe hockey I like, something like that, you know? But that's a real interaction.
You do that pretty good, man.
You know what I mean? Hey. But that's a real interaction. I used to work at a bank where we had Russians, and especially these Russian ladies, and they would teach me how to say good morning and hello. Right? And one lady, her name was Ludmila Lilyaviskaya. Why do I remember that? I don't know. But I'm saying she would be like, you have good accent. Maybe you should do something with the United Nations, something, right? I had Italians, Germans, French people, Brazilians, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, all over. Arabic.
Wow. I would love to hear you do an Arabic accent.
Well, let me see. I remember there was a time I has my brother. You want lamb rice? Huh? You want lamb rice? No, I can give for you. No, my brother. You come here to do this, my brother. I can give you lamb rice. Okay? I said, no, I'm good. No, come. I said, I'm fasting. No, you're fasting. God bless you, my brother. It's good. Because you know why? I didn't have any soap in his bathroom. So I didn't want no lamb rice from Ak. You know what I mean? Minutes coming, yo, fry them chicken wings hard, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I said, if you know Ak ain't got no soap in the bathroom, you don't gonna want the chicken wings from Ak at all. You right? Right?
You better know Ak.
Yeah, no Ak. Yeah, oh my brother, good, my brother. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, yo, man. Yo, that is awesome. You know, I know, going back to the accents and going back to the different cultures and everything.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I learned over the last few years is that, you know, I had like a education on different cultures, because for a lot of years, you know, I worked, and I was fortunate to be working proper, and you know, I was surrounded by one set of people, and you know, but now I see a lot of different cultures, and it's really awesome to just to hear the difference. You know, it's cool. It's pretty cool.
My characters that I do is based on people that I meet, right? It's I had cool. I had my co-workers that was really coolest at one point was with India and Pakistan, right? So I obviously gonna sit down and go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? I'll tell your mother and you please stop that BS. Because my boss used to talk like that. When I got married, when I got engaged, he was like, "Oh, dude, you messed up. Why you got married? No, you cannot be like, unless you want to be a crazy man like me." Yes, yes, congratulations. That's how he would, you know, do his thing. So you got, and then not to mention, your Black Americans, your white Americans, and it's different talking than how they're doing, especially if they're from Brooklyn or whatever. It was funny. It was funny. Look, every morning when I worked at going back to the mail room, that was characters. They had a guy, Italian guy coming in from Brooklyn. He would come in every morning. How you doing, Dave? How you doing, Serge? How you doing, Tommy, you fat bastard? Right? Every morning. And Tom was like, yeah. Because Tom was a big 300-pounder, but his voice was way up here, right? And then they would get into it back and forth. He's like, shut, Tommy. If I come over here, you ain't gonna do nothing. You know, that's how it was. Like, I ain't had to make that up. That was real. That was a real thing.
But for you to learn these accents and do them and perform them, that's
it's
pretty
gift.
awesome.
Definitely a gift.
What I'm saying? It definitely is a gift.
Yeah, definitely a gift.
Yeah, and I can't wait for your stand up to plateau. I can't wait for it to just get bigger.
I work,
you know what I mean?
You're working on it, you know, and one of the things that, you know, you can tell your story. You know what I mean? You have a unique experience that happened and you develop it. You know, I got notes from everything that I have written down and trying thing here. I don't post my jokes or my set because it's not finished yet. So
Okay.
it's like me going, yeah, boy, what you doing? But I hear making this sweet bread, yeah. And you put in the oven, right? 5 minutes later,
Burn
you
up.
take it out. I'm playing cotton it. I'm going, yeah, but this ain't that good because it ain't that big yet. You know what I mean? It ain't that big yet. So you see, the videos is one thing, and as you see lately, we've been shooting. I've been shooting with my boy and you know the crew, just coming together with ideas and just with people, like-minded people, and just, you know, producing our style of content.
I was going to ask you if, do you work with the same crew all the time, or is it? Do you find that you have like a bunch of people now trying to work alongside you?
I mean,
How's that working out?
some, but I mean, this is New York, man, and enough people doing the thing. You know, enough people doing different things. We just link and click, right? So I've got we actually tomorrow's Thursday, Friday. I'm shooting a game with my boy down in the Bronx. We have some concepts we can talk about and just shoot and shoot. Like my boy, he's uptown Manhattan. We meet every week. We was at his apartment shooting.
Now your boy. Now is those guys? Are they like you're the star because you know Blackrock Dave is the brand. You know that.
I don't. I just prefer collab. I just prefer a collab. I don't go as the star. We like we said we would meet. We would have these concepts and say I can do this, and I would be like, okay, cool. Like the video we did with the robber, right? With the dinner, having a nice romantic dinner, and this Asian fella coming to thief, but funny cooking was so, and then he has spice up the pot and get him and leave. And people I was like, yo, I've never seen that day before, boy. There's a concept. I'm like, it's just, you know, it's being creative in anything, you know. And
But
again,
you
it's
know what?
that cross cultural, you know what I mean, thing as well.
As a gifted person like yourself, um, well, not me. I mean you. I mean you. I'm referring to you, my brother. But
Respect.
you don't always see it, like, or you don't, or you try to play it off as being humble. But it's one of those things that is natural and it is coming. But you may try to play it off, but definitely is there. Is up to you to where you want to take it. Then you know what I'm saying? Because I know you as Blackrock Dave now. I don't know the other people around you, right? And
Yeah.
you definitely have a presence.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
do.
I've been told that from the time of my very first play. I remember I did a play called "In the Blood" by Susan Laurie Parks. She won a Pulitzer for that play, and we did a off Broadway version. Um, and that time I know I had no idea what I was doing. I was just reading lines. And one of the fellas, who was actually bigger than me, by the way, tell me, he said, "You got a presence. That's something you can't teach."
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
I was doing another play, and this girl, well, she's actually my cousin's wife now. she was always commenting on my voice. She's like, that voice, man, that voice. Before I knew, so okay, so I said, okay, I got this, I got that. So it's just a matter of working. You know what I mean? Working. I hope to get into some voiceover pretty soon, doing some voiceover work. You know what I mean? That's so anytime we need any voiceover actors out there, hit up your boy.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
right. That's right.
it's a journey. It's a journey because when you start to and you look, like I said, I look and I watch. Everybody don't have everything. There's no such thing as the perfect or having everything together. That's stuff that don't exist. I don't care what sort of lighting you got, and makeup you got, and it's crap. It's not.
My wife always remind me of that because I try to make everything as perfect as possible. And then she's like, "You see, look at CNN. Even CNN, you hear all this noise in the background and all this stuff."
Listen. I did a play, right? We used to do these plays, and the cast was so cool. We behind the scenes we used to improv and come up with this nonsense and be dying with laugh. I said, "Yo, we need to do our own sketch comedy show, right?" And we did it. We did one show. It was nice. It was a family and friends, but we actually got on stage, a black box theater style, and did some sketches and performed sketches that were our original sketches, right? And this was before these social media applications. All right, hear me, like some sort of professional social media application. These apps, Instagram and Facebook. So when you see a person doing characters and stuff, it's not new, man. The first thing I saw as I started getting it, I said, "This is black box theater. Now just moving to a different platform because it's very similar. It's rooted in the same thing. Because if you know anything about black box theater, it's all about the acting, all about the performance. Because again, it's a black empty space that you're creating and bringing people into your world. That's why when you see a person saying, "Hey, man," at church, and you see the kitchen because you see the stove in the background, but you forget the stove in the background, but get the performance is so good, you're like, "Oh yeah, that's my really."
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's similar.
I can see that you go deep into your craft and you
Yeah, you
have
have
a
to.
really good knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you write? Like, is it just you or do your team write your material, or is it only
No,
all you?
we come with a premise.
Okay.
We come, okay, did the scenario, and let's go.
And by the way, big up your team. By the way, I mean, I was just kind of like talking a little smack there earlier about you being the big star. You are definitely the big star, but big up your team because the guys do a really good job, man.
Yeah, because
it's pretty
those
awesome.
guys those guys are actors and comedians. Ain't
Yeah, I can
like
tell.
Joe Snowy pick up from the street and impeccable timing, and you see people coming out of the shell, you see people bringing it up, and that's what you want. I like people that can act, not just yell and say whatever just for what I'm saying. That's what we do. We come. This is the concept. This is what we do. Let's make it fun.
Now, what's the end goal here? Are you guys are hoping to get the attention of someone, cooperation, the biggest level? What are you guys trying to accomplish with what you guys are doing right now?
I said one of the things that I believe that is training and preparing for something the next level, right? Whatever the next level is in terms of whether it's a Netflix opportunity, network opportunity, somebody to invest in, see what you're doing and say, you know what, these guys can do something. You understand what I'm saying? To
Yeah,
get some
definitely.
creations, because what's happening now as I watch through Netflix and I watch these different shows, especially foreign shows, you realize that the North American reach and impact is worldwide, right?
Yep.
Also, there's a need to show other parts of the world as well. You see, we grew up and we saw American and English on Barbados TV, right?
Yeah, yep.
And we didn't necessarily see. Listen, I remember the Cosby Show, and I remember there was a character. He had a Trinidadian guy one time. Do you remember Dr. Harmon? All right, I don't know if you remember that.
Who?
He played Dr. Harmon. Then when it was doing a Platonk something one time, when the guy with one of his good friends was this doctor from Trinidad called Dr. Harmon. It was played by Sullivan Walker. All right,
No,
I
but go
met
ahead.
him. I met him back in 2006. I mean, unfortunately, he passed away some time ago. But I was able to have a conversation with him, hear his story.
Big
You
up
know what I'm
Jamal,
saying?
by the way.
Yeah, large up, Jamal. Big up yourself. I was able to hear his story. You know how he came from Trinidad, right? And he came as an actor from Trinidad to try to get a start. And this wasn't no social media. This is the 70s that he's trying. He was tall man in one of these sci-fi TV shows. He said he befriended August Wilson, that renowned playwright that unfortunately passed as well. That was his buddy, and he did several of his plays. And he's like, he was on his way to do a performance in DC, met this person. This person, hey man, you'll be a good fit for Bill. Bill should see you. Cosby Show, we in audition, get a part.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So he tell me that it was like, wow, this is. I watched this man on my living room TV as a Trinidadian, and the Cosby Show saying that's we. I mean, it's his cousins, is a neighbor. I know I meeting him on in person. I'm having a conversation with him. You know what I mean? Had his number, he called me and call him.
And that's really inspiring, actually. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
also
yeah.
good words to let even younger people. For example, my daughter, like she's like, she can't believe that daddy's talking to Blackrock Dave. So imagine that. You know what I mean? Imagine that the impact that you yourself is having on younger people who seeing you, doing your thing. You know what I mean? It just kind of
That's true.
inspires lots of different people.
You see, because we're all connected. We weren't meant to be on an island somewhere. We were all meant to coexist and create, and we all connected at some point. I get inspiration from seeing somebody, from seeing this person, from hearing this thing, because that's how we meant to create. It's not like, yo, it's the greatest thing ever, so I don't have time to even breathe on you. That's a fallacy. That's a joke. That's not real. That's not real, because regardless of how much money or wealth you may accomplish, at the end of the day, you're going to leave it. Right? One day you're going to leave it. How you interact with the folks here, because if sickness take hold here and the money can't help you get out of it, you know what I mean? You still have to run a currency that is not dollars and cents. That human kindness,
That's right. That's
for a
right.
person. You understand?
It's interesting enough that you say that, because I remember like a few years back, it was like winter or fall here, and I just booked a flight and I went to Barbados, and I just jumped right out of work. I mean, here I was like running downtown and going up in the office and all that stuff, and doing all that stuff, and then the next day I was in Barbados on a rum shop step, sitting down talking to my boys from years and years ago, and I'm
No
just
jacket.
like, no jacket, no. I'm spaced out. They're looking at me like, yo, Derek, what going on? I was like, you believe like just a few hours ago I was in Toronto, and I was living like a completely different lifestyle, and now I'm here just sitting on a step.
I've seen that. I've done that too. When I sit down, like, the fast pace, just slow all the way down. You know what I mean? You just slow all the way, and that's that's it. That's it. I actually, my mother, when my mother left Barbados, she lived in Toronto for 1.5 years. And ever since I was a kid, I had this fascination with Canada, with Toronto. I don't know why. Right?
Now, do you come here often?
I came to Canada, let me see, every year since 2014 or 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
We definitely got to connect next time you come by, man.
Last year was the first year that I missed. I went 2019, 2018, 17, even when I was hurt in 16 with crutches and walker and wheelchair. I'm sitting on the planet this year. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. We definitely got to connect next time you come over,
I was down there on the taster down fort the last time I was there. Yeah, wow. Man. Yeah, man.
I think that might be in some trouble now too. I mean, been a lot of COVID really changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it did.
COVID really messed up some things. And speaking of COVID, there's a question I had for you about COVID. And and everyone hates the pandemic, especially my daughter. She hates it. I
Mhm.
mean, she screams at COVID.
Mhm.
COVID, I hate you. And
Mhm.
I mean, like, do you think the pandemic has played a major role in allowing people like myself and perhaps even you to have the courage to think bigger, dream bigger, reach for something more than what we see in front of our eyes? I know you mentioned a little
Definitely,
bit on that earlier, but I feel as if it's a game changer, you know?
definitely. It's almost like, in some instances, a reset, a pause, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For some people, it's like, okay, I should do this. I didn't really like this, man. I don't like this, but I'm doing this every. I don't like this, I wish I didn't have to do this. And a pause comes, and it's like, hold on, wait. No. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Because it takes faith as well, right? It takes faith to do certain things. So you're gonna leap, or you're gonna go back, and because some people just talk it, some people talk it well. Then when it's time to, I left the bank where I was working, and there was people that tell me, yeah, I don't like it here. I wish I could do it. I said, well, it's like, 'cause I'm too freaking scared, right? That's what people would say. And I remember when I went to my exit interview, she was like, "Oh, you're going to another comedy?" I said, "No, I'm going to pursue acting and stand-up comedy." They had no answers. It was like, well, uh, that's certainly a first. I haven't heard that yet. You know what I mean? They never hear anybody do that. Yeah, because everybody's leaving, going to another company or something.
I
Or
was
just
talking to two young men too on this show, and they mentioned something along the similar lines of
mhm.
leaving the job. Actually, no, it wasn't a bank. Was it a bank? No, it wasn't a bank. It was something else. But just the same way too. I
Yeah,
mean, unfortunately, like some people don't have that choice. Some people, they leave on not on their own terms,
yeah, I
but
get it.
and then forced to do something. Let me play a devil's advocate a little bit here when it
Okay.
comes to stand up comedy and
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
Are you ready? Are you ready for hecklers? You ready for them bumming clubs and cigarette smoking drunks and
And throwing chicken
crooked
wings at your kid.
promoters,
And
crooked
throwing,
promoters
yeah,
and cheap jump offs? I shouldn't say that because you're a married man, right? So you know
yeah,
what
yeah,
cheap
yeah.
jump offs.
Yeah, want my wife to come here and say, "Who jumping off on who, boy?" I not, nah, not here, but um, no, that's a very valid question, and that's all a part of it. You know what I mean? That's all a part of it. Even though social media
Mhm.
has even put a wrinkle in that as well, because there are some instances where not me per se, but there are instances where you get these people with these large, humongous followings. So you got a road comic that's been working at it year after year after year on the road, single, may have a kid, but he's always on the road. Let me say 15 years in the game. Seasoned in that he understand how to read a crowd. He understand where he is. He understand how to the art of comedy, right? He ain't commercially known, but he understand this is what comedy is. But then he's opening up for a dude that got 1 million followers
Right.
that cannot necessarily engage and hold up crowd over maybe a tagline or so, or set. I listened to comedian Godfrey, one of his some the other day. He was like, I don't want a reality star opening up hosting a show. I'm like, no, I want a comic that knows that with an act that knows how to jokes in between and have the audience and bring the other comics. Not to go in and just go, oh yeah, so my cat is pregnant. You know what I mean? That kind of knows. You want some? I want to act. You know what I mean?
It's interesting you say that because I guess the people, well, I guess everybody's online now, but there's a lot of people who think that this that stuff that you do and guys like yourself do is easy, and if you gotta be careful because you can't even like watch all the comments and all the stuff that people say because then
No,
you drive yourself nuts, right?
you would, and that's what. Remember earlier, I said I'm not going to get caught up in the likes,
Yeah.
shares, and to be honest with you, more for my stuff, more people have been positive than negative thus far,
Hmm.
right? Because this is how we are as a society. We root for the underdog. Till the underdog becomes the overwhelming favorite. Then we want to see him crash and burn.
Yep. You
right?
know how it goes.
And then maybe some kind of redemption. Oh yeah, he's back. He's back. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But
But you know, we as people love villains. You know.
yeah. I mean, you know, this whole thing open up opportunities. The mere fact that you can open your phone and see something that, you know, someone created, and to see something it's I mean, it's amazing. I don't take that for granted either.
And I mean, now that you mentioned that, I just want to say right here on the ear, I really appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you. The first time I sent, like, I just, you know, I was debating for a while. Should I reach out to Blackrock Dave? You know, and once I reached out, it wasn't, you know, it might have been a hesitation, but you said it wasn't going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because
I'm blessed
this
for that.
might actually be the first and maybe the last time I speak with you, you know, once you start to get blow up even bigger. So, you know, I always remember this, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, you remember that time he was on the Man from Prospect? I'm sorry, who's that you're talking about? The man from where? The man from where? Where's you're talking about? No, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. No. Boy, please pass me another. Thank you. Nah, man, it's all good. Listen. We are human beings first. All the other stuff, and I get, you know, brand awareness and all that other thing, but that is supposed to serve you, not you serve that. If you understand what I'm saying. If
Yes.
any fame comes to anyone, it should serve you, not you serve it. And I think this where we get things twisted.
And that's
You know
a
what I mean?
very humbling statement.
Well, yeah, let's say no licks I get growing up. Something humbling. Licks I get growing up. Lick no, not licks and McCampbell, because some of these people go, oh my God, you got beat with a belt? Oh my God. You know what I mean?
We tell it to the youths right now. Yeah. They don't know what licks is.
Yeah. Yo, my dad, my dad cannot hit me, son. Like, no way, fam.
You must watch a lot of characters on TV and see a lot of these different youths, how they talk and
yeah,
how they interact with people, man.
Listen, I was in Toronto, and I had Googled some clubs, so I was going about asking about, you know, if they had an open mic. So this girl was there, right? And I said, "Hi," I said, "How you doing, sis? I'm looking for club." And then she was like, "Yo, this man was out here waiting, for like a while. Like, why you got mans outside, fam? Like, talk to this man. He want to tell you about comedy, fam. Like, you know what I mean?" And that's how she was talking to the dude. And I was like, right? I was like, yo, she's like, yo, I buzzed the bell like 5 minutes. Like, why am I outside still, fam?
Yeah.
Like, yo, fam, right? And I was like, yo.
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up, man, because that's exactly how a lot of people talk, especially in certain areas. You know, it all depends on what you're into, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, my I used to always tease him every time I go, because I used to say A after everything. He's like, yo, we don't talk like that, A. I'm like, you kind of do. You kind of just did. He's like, yo, I never said A before. I'm like, I kind of think you said A whole lot.
You know, after a while, you can't help it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. It's like here going, yeah, yo, just, you know, it's a New York, it's American thing, it's New York thing.
The guys in New York, especially Brooklyn, everything is son. Even if it's a woman, it's like, nah, son.
Well, you know, the New York is a special place. You know, I went to Chicago. I was in Chicago one time. I was in an Uber, and the guy was like, "Where you coming from?" I was like, "New York." And the guy was like, we got everything New York got. I was like, he's like, what? I said, listen, I've been to Chicago a bunch of times. Chicago's a great city, but it's not New York, right? He's like, what do you mean? I said, okay, where can I go get some Bajan food, some coconut flying fish? What? I said, where could go get a Trinidad roti, Haitian food, Guyanese food? And he's like, I said, listen, in New York, I can go several places and get that. I have my pick of them, several places. You know what I mean? as well as everything else you guys got here in Chicago, we got there in New York too, but just more. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So I don't compare. I don't compare New York with any place. I don't know people always compare. You don't need to compare. You have what you
Dave,
have.
I know that you're a busy guy, and I know the time is coming on to the really close. I can't even believe that is like an hour or hour and a half already. But
It's a
I know
great
you're busy.
compliment.
You got stuff to deal with, so I don't want to keep you. If you feel like you want to go a little bit longer, let me know. But it's been awesome talking to you. Before you go, you gotta do the West African accent, man.
Oh, you're
What's that
talking
character?
about. Oh, you're talking about that person that you're talking about, because I'm telling you right now, there's people that you're going to run into, okay, that will not necessarily want to believe what you're telling them. You're saying, listen to me, please. You cannot go outside and go to the bathroom without washing your hands. It does not work. It does not work. Oh, you're come on. You're better than that. And the people will go to
I
the
love
bathroom
that.
and not wash their hand and go to the meeting and want to shake your hand. No, you cannot shake my hand. I see you in the bathroom. You didn't even flush. You walked away. You didn't wash nothing. You didn't even go and pretend. You just walk right out. Now you want to shake my hand in the meeting. No. And you want to touch the muffin and offer me one. No, I'm not. No, you no. I'm going to happen.
I love that. You're better than that because
You're better than that. Please. You're not going to. Not today.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love all the characters, man. Hey, look, um, I know that you're gonna blow up really big. I know you're gonna do big things, man. And I really
I
I
yeah,
wish
yeah,
for you to do it.
yeah.
And I can't wait to see you doing it, man. Doing it on the biggest stage than
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
doing
for
it
sure.
on right now.
For sure.
You know, so what's next for you after this? Before we end the show?
Well, what's next with this? No, I'm gonna watch. I think the Lakers playing. They're gonna watch the Lakers. Then they go walk in the morning. So I can prepare cereal. No. What's next? I mean, I'm just creating, right? So I'm looking for opportunity to just film my creations. You know, some a little longer than the others. I like Paul, the traffic guy. I want to try to turn him into something. I want to try to turn. Yeah.
My again, Paul is crazy.
Yeah.
You see, I put up this finger though.
Yeah. Yeah. As we were saying, Barbados, Paul, let's be some madman for you. But you see, there's Paul, right? There's Paul. He's Bajan. There's the I. You know this guy? Yeah.
Yeah,
That
man.
no,
The
you know,
eye,
and
the
that's
eye.
all. Yeah. So there's the I and there's Cuthbert Jones. There's three Bajan guys, but three of them are different. They're not the same at all. Right?
No,
They're not the same.
definitely not.
They're not the
But I
same.
love
So,
Cuthbert Jones though.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
crazy. Cuthbert Jones. Are you frightened for roaches?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about it is the in black and white. Then the voiceover behind it, and it's
But
yeah.
Dave, I know the time. I keep stressing on the time, but how you get that like that way of doing Cuthbert Jones? That's a real like a oldish kind of accent from Barbados. Like where you
Yeah,
learn that stuff from, man?
man. Listen, I have a repertoire. I've been building a repertoire for characters for years. It didn't just happen. You know what I mean? It's stuff that you didn't. You listen to stuff happen over time. If you come here, you live in North America, you gonna still want who you be your accent, but still sound a little bit American. If you understand what I'm saying, that's all Cuthbert Jones trying to say. I asked for one pancake. You give me two pancakes. You obviously didn't went to school long. You the type of fella with only one and one is 11. No matter where she might find you,
For those out there who don't understand why I'm laughing, is because I know those accents. I know like some older people, the way how they talk, they make me laugh when they talk like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen,
It's all
everything is
good.
influenced, man, from early Sesame Street to the Muppets to the Simpsons to all the This is Carl Anthony Towns. That name just
Yes, right.
come in my head. That's the name, Carl Anthony Towns for the
Anthony Towns,
Minnesota
Carl
Timberwolves.
Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
So,
But
so
yeah,
once
man.
again, Dave, I want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
I
having
really
me.
appreciate you for doing this.
Yeah. Thank you for
You
having me
know,
as well. Blessings to you and your family for sure.
yeah, definitely. Stick around for a couple minutes after the show
All
and
right.
before you go. All right.
All right,
So
brother.
respect,
Yo,
manners,
bless
and
you, people. Thank you for tuning
enough
in.
respect.
Big at yourself, guys.
That's right. So there you have it. I'm in tears, man. Blackrock Dave, man. The guy is gifted, talented. Um, Definitely putting the grinding, man. Doing some serious things out there. Um, as you guys can tell, look, I'm even like I've been getting up really early in the mornings, putting in that grind myself too, and as I said earlier in the show, trying to do some exercise in the morning because the pandemic is really starting to get to me also, and it's got me a little bit tired, but I'm in it for the long run. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm here to maintain and not to chop it up in a 2 second in a sprint race. And this been an awesome and a really pleasure of mine meeting a comedian, actor, creative guy like Blackrock Dave, and I wish him the most success. I know he's going to be awesome. I can't wait for him. I forgot to ask him about another brother who who is doing some awesome stuff down in the UK. A brother by the name of Nico Yearwood, and those guys are putting the work in, and and I just wish that there's more people out there who are definitely talented, would just step up to the plate and put your presence right on the screen so we can be entertained, so you can present yourself to the world and not only to just one segment. Let the people know who you are, man. This is absolutely the time to do it. No delays. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of time left on this earth for all of us. Is a short time. The lifespan it seems long, but it's not that long, right? So whatever you can do, whatever gifts you got, whatever talent you got, just put it out there and let it be known, man. And once again, I want to thank my brother Blackrock Dave for being here on the show tonight. I want to wish everyone, one of you out there, health and strength. Stay safe. Not because you get one joke, that don't mean that it's over. Because people are already letting down their guard because they got that vaccination. You still got one more to go, and also, you never know, right? So, on that note, stay safe, people, and keep the peace. And until next time, I'm out of here.